Hello, welcome to another video. As you can tell from the title of today's video, today I'm bringing you my fall book haul, potentially my last haul of the year. I hope my last haul of the year, because you'll know I do not need any new books just yet. And this haul is pretty hefty. I've got 14 books to show you, and I'm hoping that any that I want to pick up for the last month and a half of this year, I can put on my Christmas list. Because it's that time where family is asking me what I want for Christmas and I'm going, I don't know. I really don't know. If I want things, I buy them. I don't know. But anyway, I have some books to show you now. 14. I haven't done a haul in a while. I don't think... Well, no, definitely none of these were in my last haul. I've mentioned them in vlogs, so if you keep up with my vlogs, if there's any that I buy in that week, I tend to just mention it in that week's vlog anyway, so if you've watched my vlog, you may have seen some of these. Some of these I haven't mentioned in vlogs because I bought them during that week, 2-week period where I didn't vlog. I may have missed some. There may still be some on my shelf that I haven't hauled, but I'm not going to be too picky about it. Anyway, let's get cracking. The first book on this list was sent to me by HarperCollins. I am excited to read this. It is Cold March by Daniel Cohen. Last year, Cold Maker, his debut novel, came to me from Harper. Well, he reached out to me and Harper sent me his first book. I really liked it. I have a review for it somewhere on my channel from around this time last year. I now have the sequel and I'm very excited to read it. I will read it at some point towards the end of this year. I would definitely read it before the end of the year and undoubtedly do another babble on it because I am excited. Yeah, I liked the first one. I'm looking forward to the second one. This is the book that HarperCollins, if you saw my vlog or wherever I mentioned it, accidentally sent me 30 copies of, so that was fun. Now we're getting into some books that you may have seen. I have got here The Dreadful Tale of Prospero by Alexandra Bracken. This only came out in the UK last month, and I had it pre-ordered and I picked it up and I read it immediately. I've definitely mentioned it in a vlog. This is a middle grade about a young boy named Prospero who is inhabited by a demon that his family made a pact with and then broke said pact, so things get a bit weird, twists and turns. Very funny characters. I enjoyed it a lot. Next up is Nightblood by Ellie Blake. I recently read Fireblood, which is the sequel to Frostblood in the Frostblood saga, and I picked up the last one. It's enormous. It's so big, but weird relationship with this series, I think. I liked the first one. I didn't hate the second one, but it was definitely a struggle to get through, but this is the last one in the trilogy, and then I'll have a whole trilogy knocked off, and like me being stuck in the middle of series is just a problem. So, yep, picked up this one. Can't guarantee when I'll get to it. I imagine it's going to be a next year one, just giving myself realistic expectations. So next up is another one that I read and loved, and that is The Caged Queen by Kristen Cicerelli. I've definitely babbled about this in a vlog and a wrap-up. There's a review on my Goodreads. I loved this, but the sequel to The Last Namsara, I loved it. I love the series. I don't think it gets enough hype. I think if you haven't read it and you are debating it, go for it. I really, really like this. I can understand why some people potentially don't. Characters, I loved all of the characters in this, but the main character in The Last Namsara is kind of unlikable, but I think she's very much supposed to be, and her arc is a bit strange, but I loved that book. I love this book. Atmosphere on point, like the mythology and like history woven into the story and the culture and stuff. I freaking loved it, okay? This is great. Slightly annoying that this is in paperback, the first one's in hardback, but what can you do? Next up is one that I'm thoroughly surprised I have not yet read, and that is Spellbinder by Sebastian de Castell. This is the 4th book in the Spellslinger series. So you've got Spellslinger, Shadowblack, Charmcaster, and Soulbinder. I'm very much looking forward to reading this. I think me and AJ are going to buddy read it for the Christmas at Hogwarts readathon that G's doing. I'm just pumped. I love the series. They've all been really high ratings. The covers are gorgeous. Like, fate can be fatal. the colours of them all together as well, because you've got the red, the purple, the orange, the green. Oh, so good. I think when all 7 of them are together, they're gonna look like... But super excited to read this. Love this story. Again, not gonna say too much because I don't know what this one does, but it follows on from those stories. So you've got Kellen, who is a mage with no magic, or very little magic. Ooh, drama. But yeah, I've loved these stories, so I can't wait to dive into this one as well. Next is another one that I'm amazed that I haven't yet read, and that is Vengeful by Victoria Schwab. This is a brick. I want to read this one before the end of the year. I would love to read this one. I've got some time off work, but I don't know when that's going to happen, to be honest with you. But yeah, super excited. Love these editions. They're so pretty. But yeah, I loved Vicious. I love anything that Schwab puts out. She is like my favourite author. So I can't wait to dig into this. Another one that I'm amazed I haven't read, I'm just not getting through these quick enough, but that is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. This again was one that I had pre-ordered, arrived on the day, opened it in a vlog, gushed about it. It's the one with the pretty sprayed edges to match the blue one I've got. It matches my jumper. It's stunning. The first book was so good. Laini Taylor, again, is a really appreciated author in my books. Like, her writing is just so beautiful. And again, it's one of those things where I can understand why some people might not mesh with it. It's very lyrical and fluffy, but beautiful, and just... the plot is also great, but her writing is stunning. And yeah, can't wait to dive into this, but I don't know when that's going to be. Again, it's one that I need to dedicate some time to, so like really need to stop working so much. Watch out, there's more Schwab about. Dark Vault by Victoria Schwab. This is the bind-up of the archived and unbound novels that's just come out in the UK. Yay! Again, it's Schwab. She can do no wrong. I'm super excited to dive into this. This is one that I could potentially like break down as well, because it's two books. It's like nearly slap bang in the middle, so I could read this like 2 books rather than 1. But really excited. The cover is gorgeous. Schwab's UK covers, like, just the colour schemes and the like design of them is fantastic. Her UK cover designer is fantastic. Next up, we have Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I've got Truth Witch, and I started reading it and kind of stopped reading it because I couldn't dedicate the time to it. I'm waiting to kind of get out of this slump before I try that one again, but I'm excited for both of them. I think Susan Dennard as a person is really cool, like following her on Twitter. I just really like her energy and I want to like her books as well. From what I read of Truth Witch, I did really like it, I just couldn't dedicate the time to it. The main character, Safi, the main character, is really cool, and Isulette is, I don't know. But yeah, they seem really cool little duo of girls kicking butt, so I'm into it. And I really like the whole witchery from what I've read, so I'm excited to continue with Truth Witch when I eventually get to it. And then move on to this. But yeah, also there's a bird on the cover, and like, that's just my thing. If there's a bird on the cover, I'm gonna read it. Then I also picked up blah blah blah, what is this called? It matches my jumper again. The Trouble with Perfect. This is the sequel to A Place Called Perfect, which I read a while back now, and compared quite closely with Coraline when I read it, but I read them very close together, so I'm hoping I might enjoy this one a little bit more because it won't be such a direct, like, one after the other with Coraline, like it was with A Place Called Perfect. But I really did like the premise of the story, and I think there's great potential with this. It's like the after, when perfect is kind of fixed and then goes wrong again, clearly, because there's some trouble in perfect. Also, I really like the like catch lines on this. This one is there's somebody watching you, and the one on the other one is they've got their eyes on you, so it's all about like being watched, and it's kind of creepy. Then I have one on this haul that I'm really excited for, especially at this time of year, and that is Explorers on Witch Mountain, which is the sequel to the Polar Bear Explorers Club, which I absolutely loved last year. It was one of the first books that got me into polar fantasy. This is by Alex Bell, by the way. And if you want like an immediate taste of polar fantasy, I am going to do a recommendations video at some point, because I know people keep asking me for that. Like, I am going to do it. I just want to read a few more first. But the Polar Bear Explorers Club, it is a middle grade, but it is good. It is fun, it is an adventure story, I loved it, and cannot wait to continue with Explorers on Witch Mountain. Oh, also the covers are just gorgeous. Who are these designed by? Faber. Cover design by Faber. But like, oh, so cool. Can't wait to dig into this one. I want to devour it like now, but I have priorities. Next up I have one that I bought purely on recommendation from the woman in my local Waterstones that knows my taste really, really well. And that is The Snow Spider by Jenny Nimmo. She knows I like my polar fantasy. She knows I like a bit of middle grade. And she said this is a fantastic polar fantasy middle grade that's got that like whimsy and is fun. So yeah, I don't really know what this one is about at all. A spider, apparently. Time to find out if you are a magician, Gwyn. Interesting. So there's clearly some magic in there, but I'm gonna go into this blind. This is a bind-up of the whole trilogy. So what books is it? The Snow Spider, Emlyn's Moon, and The Chestnut Soldier. This is the bind-up of all three of them. So again, I can like break this down rather than read the whole thing if I wanted to. But yeah, that's that. Excited about that. The cover again is really pretty, like proper wintry looking cover there. And next up I have a book that I told myself I wasn't gonna buy, and then I bought it anyway because I have absolutely no self-control and there is no need for me to own this right now, but I do. And that is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Still got the sticker on it. Yeah, I said I wasn't gonna buy this. I still haven't read Queen of Shadows. I need to get on that, but it was on buy one get one half price and I was picking up another one anyway. Oh, it was when Explorers on Witch Mountain released, I got them together. So yeah, because I could get it for half price, I got it, but I'm not gonna read this anytime soon. It is an absolute brick. I'm trying so hard to avoid all of the spoilers, but I know I'm gonna get spoiled eventually because I'm not gonna read this anytime soon. And I know that for a fact, so I don't know why I bought it. Well, I do know why I bought it, but like, self-control, come on Jade. But yeah, there's that. I own that. Obviously this is the conclusion to the Throne of Glass series, if you for some reason were not aware of that. And I've mentioned numerous times that I have had problems with the Throne of Glass series. And honestly, there's no hype for me in this because I'm not there, because I'm so early in the series and I'm just kind of stuck. So yeah, but we'll see when I get to it at some point in my life. And then finally, the last book on this haul, and one that I'm very excited for, is Wake of Vultures by Lila Bowen. This is the Quarterly Club's pick for the winter quarter, and our live stream for that will be in January sometime. I don't know the exact date right now, but January sometime. And this was Jess's pick from Jess Reads Books, and I'm super excited about it. I love the fact that it's got vultures, because like bird and it's feather on the cover, I'm gonna love it. Yeah, this just seems really cool to me, and I'm pumped to read it. It's about a girl who like stabs someone in a desert and he turns into this like dark sand, and it's like, where did all the sand in the desert come from sort of thing. Just seems really cool, so I'm looking forward to that. And that is all the books on my hopefully last book haul of the year, my fall book haul, if you will. As I say, I may have missed some, but that's plenty to get me through the end of this year without buying any more, please. That being said, I am desperately on the lookout for some adult polar fantasy because I'm collating the list of like books to consider for my polar recommendations video, and there's only one adult polar fantasy on there. So if anyone knows of any that I need to read, please let me know, because I'm lacking in the adult polar fantasy range. Like, I've got YA, I've got plenty of middle grade, because middle grade seems to be really heavy polar fantasy, but it's also really cool. So yeah, if you've got any adult polar fantasy recommendations, let me know, I need them. But yeah, that's that. If you want to chat to me about any of these books, if you're excited about any of them, if you've got anything to say, etc., then please chat to me down below. Give us a thumbs up if you fancy it. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I'm always eternally grateful for that. I will see you next time. Bye!